Every now and then, fecal matter makes its way to that big spinny air cooling thing and makes a huge mess. In this instance, I went to film a video comparing Canon's behemoths of the lens world, monitored aperture 50s, for a battle of the bokeh. The audio messed up, and because silent movies on YouTube aren't exactly de rigueur, what I'm going to do is a bit unusual. I'm going to sit here, look at a computer, and compare some images. How strange. Oh, and by the way, this video is sponsored by Squarespace. Check them out if you want to set up your own slick looking website. Sadly, I no longer have either lens here with me to tell you how exactly they feel in hands. You'll just have to trust that I have already shot the segment, that I can remember exactly how they feel. Now, the OG EF 51.2L, such a short, fat, squat thing, sort of sumo-like, without the massive man nappies riding up the crack. The lens itself feels incredibly solid and with an impressive weight, even though there is quite a significant amount of plastic used in its construction. I mean, yes, plastic. I'm sure it's mostly fine though, as long as you don't drop it. But you know, seeing as lenses have glass in them, I'd be more worried about the glass breaking than the plastic, right? With the RF, unsurprisingly, it is also plastic, but not plasticky, if that makes sense. It's reassuringly weighty and lengthy, noticeably longer than the EF 1.2L, but yet it doesn't feel awfully unbalanced on the EOS R5. The only thing that I would complain about with the RF is the plastic that they use on the lens itself. It marks really easy. I mean, I don't know if this loaner lens has been rented out to somebody who sweats battery acid. It just looked really battered. However, it's all about the way it shoots and what the image quality is like. Now, I've got a load of boring test shots here on the computer, which I'm going to look at, but the thing is, I can't remember in which order they were taken in, so I don't know which one is which, but that's the good thing. The lights are on and it's time to get down to some pixel peeping. Let's get started with this one. As I mentioned before, I don't know the order in which these photos were taken. Was it RF first or EF first? It wasn't the same every single time. All right, let's get down and dirty with the foliage action. Probably not a sentence that I'll hear myself saying ever again. Can we see a difference? Well, the one on the left is quite a bit sharper. Check that out. I mean, I don't even need to zoom in closer. And that is seriously crisp. Pingle crisp crisp. Kentucky for... Hang on, why is my webcam on? Oh yes, I've got to close that after doing my nipple tassel show. Let's get proper geeky about it. You know what, I might as well geek myself up too. There you go. How's that? Too much rustling, and it probably makes me look like a suicide bomber. Let's just keep the hat on. Ugh. Never mind. Okay, on the left, that is looking super fine, mighty fine there. You can see the details on the branches. Also sharp and refined. The one on the right, a little bit hazy, isn't it? With a little bit of purple smingy goodness. Badness, not goodness. Bad. Purple gunky stuff. Not good. This is on the outer perimeter. On the right, if you go down a bit, it does get worse. And the other one, I mean, that is quite staggering. You don't need to look close up to see that difference. Clearly, the one on the right is better than one on the left. Of course, my right, your left. No, it's still going to be whatever. But what about sensor sharpness? Some people might like to just take photos of things dead center. And that's fine. That's fine. Bit boring, but that's fine. Portraits. There you go. Okay, so that is pretty much slap bang down the middle. Bang! Oh, titties. My mic's gone down. Shizer. Let's not F up the sound again. Okay. That should be safe and secure. Cannot run the risk of the audio going boobs up again because it is 30th of June. It's literally a few hours before this is due to go out. I have to get this video out before the end of the month because this video is sponsored by Squarespace. If you want to set up your own slick looking website, you can get 10% off your first order and a 14-day free trial. Link here and use this code. Boom. Why use Squarespace? Because they're brilliant. Easy to use interface, lots of templates and 24/7 customer service should you need it. But you probably don't, right? Because it's so easy to use. Even I can set up a website. Just like that. So yes, 10% off your first order, 14-day free trial. Photo. Okay, so that is dead on center. Let me get back. Go away, fly. Freaking fly's coming from. I mean, it's not quite as obvious as on the edges, but it's still noticeably a bit sharper on the one on the left, I think. And these are f1.4. You can see it on the outer perimeter. I sound very geeky. If you check out the outer perimeter of the image, yeah? The one on the left looks softer than the one on the right. So I would say that the left was the right and the right was the left. You can see that even then it is finer, the detail. The one on the right looks better, but it's the same lens as the one on the left earlier. But yeah, looking at the center, pretty even Stevens really. The color fringing, it's getting better. So clearly one lens is significantly better when it comes to sharpness. One of them is sharp in the center, although not a huge amount, unlike in the corners where there's quite a gargantuan difference when it comes to sharpness. But let's have a look at Bokeh. Bokeh. Oof. You know what, there's not much in it, to be honest. That's very hard to differentiate. Another set of comparisons here. There we are, my friend Pow. Tree bokeh is usually quite hard to pull off nicely because you've got all these specular highlights. You've got this great contrast of the darker leaves and all these lights reflecting and coming through the leaves that are bright points of light. But that one on the left, that's looking pretty swell, isn't it? Kind of like cat's eyes bokeh. The one on the right, there we are, not so good. There's like little grapes. Oh, my grapes! So not looking too hot. I picked the one on the left. What do you think? Okay, so that is all of the comparison photos. Now it's time to find out which one I liked. Okay, so now let's check out the EXIF data. Before we have a look, I'm pretty certain that the sharp lens is going to be the more modern one, the RF. That makes sense, right? Because the 51.2L is quite an old lens now. There we are. So the RF, the lens barrel of the RF might easily look all scuffed up and cruddy, but the image, it's all about the image, isn't it, at the end of the day? And that is pretty damn sweet. I mean, f1.2 in the corners, that's stunning. When it comes to bokeh, when it comes to the tree bokeh, I actually preferred the RF. I mean, you can see there, that does, well, in my opinion, looks better. I think the RF here is quite a bit better because on this RF shot, the tree bokeh kind of blends away into the background a bit better than on the EF shot here. So there we have it. I would say that the RF has surpassed EF in terms of performance all round. Is it a better lens? Hell yes. And these are at f1.2, I forgot to mention. I should have mentioned that at the start. I'm just going to have to put a title at the bottom of the screen. You can pretty much fix everything with titles, unless there are green flashes on the screen. Sorry about that. Bang! Silla bang! Hi, I'm Barry Scott. You can tell I've had too many energy drinks today. Absolutely buzzing. That face catching light. That's better, isn't it? That's a money shot. The money shot right here. Assuming that this one here is the same lens as I've been praising. Must be. I will eat my own feces. No, maybe not feces, that's a bit too much. I will literally eat a Pentax hat if I'm wrong. Here we are. See, oh look at that, what's that stain? Got a bit too excited reading this book. No, not that it's a book about reading. Nice glossy pictures. Nice coffee table book. See, look at you can see the detail. You can see all the texture coming right at you. Oh, webcam's still on. Somebody's spying on me. It is actually quite worrying now. I'm gonna put some tape on there. Go away. Stop looking at my boobies. Freaking fly, go away.